Okay, right now what we're going to do is, in answering this BCR question, we're going to try to figure out how to go from reading the text to going to our graphic organizer. So right in front of us you can see the graphic organizer. But first thing we want to do before you even read the text that it's asking us to read, we got to read the BCR question. So here we go. The BCR question says, read the stage directions on page 142, lines 1 through 17. Explain how the setting and movement of characters described in the stage directions contribute to the reader's understanding of the play. So the first thing I'm going to do when I'm looking at this question is look at the important words. Explain how the setting and movement of characters, what I'm going to do is actually highlight that piece. Those are the two things I'm going to look for in the text. How the setting and movement of characters described in the stage directions contribute to the reader's understanding of the play. That's what I'm going to have to be able to explain. I'm going to use this graphic organizer to figure it all out. I can already fill out this first column, the stage directions, because I know that it's going to be on page 142, lines 1 through 17. Now I'm going to take a look at the text itself. So let's go over there. Okay, so here we are looking at page 142, lines 1 through 17. I took this screenshot of the text itself. So this is from Act 1, right at the beginning. What I'm going to do is read through it entirely and then go back, break it down, see how it affects the dialogue, how the stage directions affect the characters, and how the stage directions affect the plot. Act 1. Fade in on a shot of the night sky. The various heavenly bodies stand out in sharp, sparkling relief. The camera moves slowly across the heavens until it passes the horizon and stops on a sign that reads Maple Street. It is daytime. Then we see the street below. It is a quiet, tree-lined, small-town American street. The houses have front porches on which people sit and swing on gliders, talking across from house to house. Steve Brand is polishing his car, which is parked in front of his house. His neighbor Don Martin leans against the fender watching him. An ice cream vendor riding a bicycle is just in the process of stopping to sell some ice cream to a couple of kids. Two women gossip on the front lawn. Another man is watering his lawn with a garden hose. As we see these various activities, we hear the narrator's voice. Okay, so that's a lot of text in there, but our graphic organizer is going to help us break it apart. So I'm asking myself, how do these stage directions affect the dialogue? I know that dialogue is speech between characters. So really the only thing it says about the dialogue, and that's right here at the end, it says that as we see these various activities described up here, we hear the narrator's voice. I'm going to write that in my first box. It says we hear the narrator's voice as the setting is described. Okay, well, let's bring back the text. All right, another thing I want to look at is how this affects the characters. So the first thing that stands out to me is these names that are written right here. Steve Brand, Don Martin. We see that Steve Brand is polishing his car. Don Martin is watching him. We see that kids are getting ice cream down here, and that two women are gossiping on the front lawns. I'm going to write all that up right here. So Steve, wrong place. Steve is washing his car. Kids get ice cream. Women gossiping. We have a little bit of description of some of these characters, but basically we're seeing them in their setting. It seems like a normal, kind of peaceful weekend activity that's going on here. So let's go on. How do these stage directions affect the plot? So we know that our plot at the very beginning of most plots is the exposition, and in the exposition they describe the setting. So we have a lot of setting details here. So we describe the scenery, and the words that stick out to me, let's go back there. The words that stick out to me are right here. It is daytime, then we see the street below. It is a quiet, tree-lined, small-town American street. That stands out to me. I'm going to write that up in this column, how it affects the plot. Describes the scenery of Maple Street. And then here I'm going to quote it. A quiet, tree-lined, small town American street. And I'm going to add my own thought here. Seems very calm and peaceful. Finally, I want to describe in a little bit how all of this information has affected my understanding of the text and of the play. So after reading these stage directions, I get the sense that this is a normal, peaceful American town. I am wondering where the conflict will come. And I think that most of these details are trying to show me how normal of a place this street is. And that's how I'm going from the text to my graphic organizer.